First of all, let me thank you, all of you, for giving us your time and taking the burden to come to listen at this scientific and social topic that is extremely important, and it has been made a little bit more clear during the last few years, especially, and I'm very proud to be part of the team, especially thanks to the EFIC first, that has started to discuss on pain, chronic pain, especially on chronic pain in Europe for the last, let's say, 15 years now. And more recently, thanks to the cooperation with Grünenthal, and I would also answer a little bit your question, because of course any campaign made for the interest of the patients has to have some support, and the support, the logistic support and the organizational support has been given to EFIC by Grünenthal, who has started the cooperation with EFIC long ago with a very important project that was completely focused on research in pain, and more recently, as it has been made clear by Professor Kress, it has been given the support to this project, this huge and important project that was to make clear what is the social burden of pain, especially of chronic pain, in the European population. So this is the beginning, and it's very important what Professor Tredes already said, related to the common and best indicators, to have a common language, essentially to have a common language, because it's clear that if we do not speak the same language, it is very, very difficult to understand each other and to make clear what we are looking for. And what we are looking for are the most important aspect of chronic pain, and to focus on them. The roadmap was a very important document, and now we are focusing on the different aspects. And one of the aspects is, of course, the relationship between the chronic pain in the working population, because this is clearly one of the most important aspects, especially for the economic implications of the chronic pain in the working population. And this is extremely important at the moment. We have clearly a moment of economical crisis all over the world, and it needs to have a different approach now than what we had in the past. We must be much more careful and look really carefully at what is necessary for our patients. And in relation to what is going to be discussed in the afternoon, that is this second focus group on the relationship between the workforce and chronic pain, it is absolutely important to establish what are the best practice, the best goals to reach. And the first one is certainly the prevention. Prevention is absolutely important. It's compulsory for in in all the countries, and this is also made clear by many national laws that are carefully looking at the prevention in the working populations. But at the same time, we also should look at the problem of people who are in pain and who must be reintegrated in their working place. So this is the main point we are going to discuss in the afternoon, and there will be a first presentation on the social aspects of this specific topic. And then there are other aspects. One of them is going to focus especially on the epidemiological data of chronic pain in the working population. I think not all of us are completely aware of what is the situation from the epidemiological point of view. There has been a first epidemiological study started by EFIC in 2002 and published officially in 2006, showing clearly that the prevalence of chronic pain in the general population is something about 20% in Europe. And this seemed like a shocking data, but it has been confirmed more recently, as you can see from the first part. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. From the first part of my slide here, it has been reconfirmed more recently in 2011 with data that are more or less the same, focusing on the prevalence of chronic pain. And this is one of the important aspects we should look at. Professor Kress has made clear what is the importance of the loss of work, of working days. It is something about more than 500 million days, working days, costing to the society in Europe over 34 billion euros. And this is another important aspect that is clearly indicating the importance to immediate have an action to prevent such huge expenses in the social system. So, one of the other duties of this focus group 2 in the afternoon will be to look at the relationship with EFIC and have with other organizations to have to reach the goal of focusing on the different aspect of the relationship between chronic pain and working population. And of course it is necessary the strict relationship with also the social active organization, non-profit organization like the Active Citizen Network and the Pain Alliance Europe, that are going to produce a document. They are working carefully on this, and they are going to produce a document, a common document, on what are the pain patients' pathways recommendations. And this document will probably be ready by half of 2014 and will be presented in the next SIP meeting in 2014. So, in the afternoon we are going to have, to have such a presentations just to focus on the reintegration of chronic pain patients into the workforce. And in my opinion, this is absolutely crucial aspect, because prevention is already studied, and I don't think we can, as EFIC, we can do too much on this, because there are other people, but scientifically speaking, we can strongly recommend what are the best practice to reintegrate people, working people, into their place, into their job. And there are different projects that will be presented, and this will be extremely interesting, and I am looking forward to, and with a huge curiosity from my side, to see what is the interaction between the speakers and the participants to the focus group, because the results, the final results, will come out by this strong interaction between people, showing what the best practice will be in the future and what the EFIC will recommend in this document. So, thank you. I'm proud to have such a support from Professor Trede. So, there are different aspects like the early involvement of the stakeholders. Professor Trede has already made clear the importance of a very early intervention from our side, from doctors' side, and from the social security system side. Because as early we keep in mind the importance of such a strong interaction, the best will be, of course, because the rapid action is immediately following as importance the prevention. This is like for many other diseases. As early we keep in our care the patients, the better it is. And I think this is one of the focus aspects that will be strongly made clear in the afternoon. And then to develop the guidelines. Guidelines, as has already been said, we have good guidelines, but the real importance is now how to implement it at national levels. And Europe is a continent with many different countries, and needs to have first a common language and second a good cooperation between all of us to make clear what is the best way to implement the guidelines. I think in this specific aspect, EFIC may play an important role, and I look forward for the future actions of EFIC on this specific aspect. And then other important aspects are a good education for pain patients. This is extremely important because it is also from the scientific point of view clearly made clear that the good education for patients is absolutely compulsory. We must teach our patients what is the best way to prevent re-acutization of chronic pain, etc., 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 especially in the working place, because to have the best attitude with during the work, it's absolutely important. And think for a moment to the truck drivers. They have a huge prevalence of low back pain, and we should help them to cope in the best way with their job. We cannot ask them to completely change their life, but they can perform better and have a reduction of incidence of re-acutization of their pain. So, another important aspect will be a continuous monitoring of the system, how to make a better cooperation between who is from our side and, for example, all the politicians, etc., etc., the rest of people that are involved in such a huge project. So, I really look forward to see the discussion in the afternoon and to see what will come out, because I think it's extremely interesting and important, and will be one of the important aspects of this huge project on the SIP. As I said before, the chronic pain in the working population is extremely huge, and I think we must care carefully for such group of patients that are an important part of the society.